What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Sideline Sports. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. Come on in. We're talking Warriors basketball, and why not after an awesome win against Memphis on Tuesday to advance to the playoffs against the Rockets. So let's talk a little bit about the Warriors, how that game went, and how we expect the Warriors to play against the Rockets. We're going to have many podcasts in between on that series, but for the time being, guys, thank you for the support, and just hit the like and subscribe. Come on in. Let's talk. Warriors win the game 116 to 121. The first two quarters were great. Second two, third and fourth quarter were kind of a little bit lackluster with the energy. We were winning by quite a bit, almost up by 20 points until you got into the end of the second quarter, start of the third quarter, and then Memphis started to whittle away at that score, and they actually did lead the Warriors off and on by 2 to 4 points for a little bit in that third and fourth quarter. It became basically a shootout. The Warriors won, thankfully, but we need to take a look at what is going on with the Warriors, because when the playoffs come, they're going to need the supporting cast to step up, and the supporting cast in the last few games are not stepping up. When I say supporting cast, I mean Moses Moody, Brandon Pajemski, Buddy Hield. I can't really say much about Quentin Post because he's a rookie, but he's doing pretty well. I mean, he's getting numbers. Gary Payton II is stepping up a little bit, but let's go over the numbers here, guys. It's kind of frustrating when I see two guys that are scoring the majority of the points. Jimmy Butler had 38 points and Steph Curry had 37. Everybody else is kind of just, lying in the weeds. Moses Moody had 9 points. That's not going to cut it. Draymond Green had 4 points. That's not going to cut it. Brandon Pajemski had 3 points. 3 points out of Pajemski is not going to work. Quentin Post had 11. That a boy. Quentin Post, rookie, center, got 11 points. I'm actually happy with Quentin Post getting those points. Gary Payton II had 12 points. That's all right. He could be more like 15 to 18. That would be nicer, but that's fine. 12's all right. Buddy Hield, 2 points. Embarrassing. Kevon Looney, 2 points. Not great, but he didn't play a lot. He only played 10 minutes. Should have had more than 10 minutes, though. And I think the Warriors are going to lean on Kevon Looney a little bit more when they play the Rockets. Guy Santos had 3, but let's be honest. Guy Santos is out there to be kind of a bully, and he's out there playing tough D, pushing guys around and letting them know he's there, not giving them any free shots. So this is all great as far as that goes, but guys, the guys who are scoring the lowest amount of points in the team should be out there scoring the most off the bench anyway. So when we go and play the Rockets, that could end up being a little bit of a problem. Sorry, allergies, guys, like always. That could be a little bit of a problem. So let's just think about this. The Warriors are kind of poised to win this game or this series against the Rockets, I believe. A couple of reasons why. The Rockets beat the Warriors in the last game of the season, so they're riding high thinking they got something on the Warriors. If they think that, they are in deep trouble, because after that game, Steph Curry was called out, I believe, by some of the Rockets during the game. After that game, when Steph Curry was interviewed, he said, just wait till next time, guys. Just wait till next time. And when Steph Curry says that, you're in a lot of trouble, because that means you're on his radar and you've disrespected him, and it's time to basically show up and shut them up. And I think that's what Steph is going to do against the Rockets. But I did mention something on 95.7 The Game last week. I said the Warriors are playing with house money, and they kind of tried to debunk that, but I didn't get a chance to respond because they cut me off, and that's fine. But they didn't believe that, so they went on a little bit of a 1 or 2 minute talk about why they didn't think that was true. But let me tell you, it is true because of what I just said. Those Warriors, not named Steph Curry and Jimmy Butler, are inconsistent players. I've been talking about it all year that way, and it hasn't changed, okay? They're inconsistent, guys. That means that we don't know if we're going to get a win or a loss game to game, because we don't know if Pajemski or Moody or Quentin Post or anybody else, Buddy Hield, for God's sakes, shows up and hits a three-pointer. So we don't know if that's going to happen, guys. And so therefore, we cannot sit back and look at this Warrior team and feel confident about where they're going in the playoffs unless these guys start to step up, i.e. they're playing with house money, because they are in a position that most teams would not be in with just two guys like Jimmy Butler and Steph Curry leading the charge. with numbers like that. And let me tell you, that's not just one game. They have numbers like that going on back more than a few games. Podziemski was on fire for a little bit, came back down to earth. But guys, listen, we need a collective effort from this Warrior team if they're going to beat the Rockets and go deeper into the playoffs. That's just the bottom line. So when they go and they play the Rockets, the one thing that the Warriors have on the Rockets now is one, the Rockets might come in being a little bit too confident, thinking they beat the Warriors last time. They beat the brakes off them last time. But they don't realize that that was the end of a huge trip, or a huge series of games, rather, two of which were the Lakers and Denver, okay? And then Clippers were one too, so I believe. So they were playing a bunch of very, very difficult teams before they got to the Rockets, and then the Rockets beat them. It was an off night. If the Rockets go into this series thinking that was the normal Warriors, they're in big trouble. They're in big trouble. They better game plan. They better game plan, because this is not going to be the Warrior team that they saw. I can guarantee you that much. But what we need from the Warriors is consistency, and I think they can come to the Rockets and beat them in a series with just a little bit of consistency. After that, who knows? Let's wait and not talk past the Rockets. But after that, it depends on the matchup. If the Warriors get the Thunder, I actually like that better than the Warriors getting the Lakers, or the Warriors getting, Denver. But that's not what it's going to be. It's either going to be the Lakers or Minnesota. I'd rather have Minnesota. I'd rather take my chances with Minnesota than the Lakers. There's just something about Steph Curry playing in LA that it ends up being like the toughest of matchups for him, even though I don't think it should be. And so, they got that kind of going for them. So let's see who wins in that series, whether it's the Lakers or Minnesota. But right now, we just need to focus on the Rockets. I think the Warriors can beat the Rockets. I think it wouldn't be crazy if the Warriors made basically a quick dinner out of them, and they won a gentleman's sweep in the first 5 games or 4 games, because I don't think the Rockets have great defense. But let's be honest about one thing about the Rockets, guys. The Rockets are young, immature, and don't have playoff experience. The Warriors have all of that. So when the Warriors come to town to play the Rockets, they have that experience in their back pocket, and it will make all the difference in the world when it comes to playoffs, guys. It really will, especially when you got playoff Jimmy coming in. And I know, as well as all of you out there, we want to see playoff Jimmy right now, because that is going to be something else to watch in a Warrior uniform, on top of Steph Curry, on top of Draymond Green taking it to the next level. And hopefully some of those other guys follow suit and come on in for a playoff run, and you get 1 or 2 guys that step up. I'm not talking about Kuminga right now, because it's clear Kuminga is most likely not going to be a Warrior next year. I've been saying that for a while, and I'm doubling down on it now, because he didn't play against Memphis. And he didn't play against Memphis because Steve Kerr doesn't trust him. And of course Steve Kerr doesn't trust him, because JK does not have a tool belt of accessories going on in his talents. He can go downhill, draw a foul, or slam the ball. His defense is average at best. If his offense isn't going, he's committing fouls. He can't hit a mid-range jumper very well, and he can't really hit the three-point too well. So if one thing's not going well, which is going downhill and trying to draw a foul or dunk the ball, what is left in his tool belt of experience that Steve Kerr should trust? There isn't anything. And I don't know why we sit here and talk about JK as he's the next thing. He's not the next thing, guys. He won't be a Warrior next year, I don't think. I can't imagine why he would be. I just don't think he will be. Sorry, a little bit of allergies, guys. A little bit of allergies. Okay, so bottom line, I love the win against Memphis. I really do. And I would just say that basically what we're seeing is a 116-121 win, where the Warriors kind of gave it up in the second half, but had enough to win. So the bottom line is can the Warriors take this into the Rockets series and really take it over the top? Well, that just depends on consistency, guys. And we'll see about that. We'll just see about that. But I don't like the fact, I don't like the fact that the Warriors are a little bit older, right? And because they're a little bit older, they wear down a little bit quicker, right? So if they take this Rockets series deep into a 6-7 game series, it might not look good for the Warriors, because they might be tired and exhausted at that point. But let's see how it goes. I really hope it doesn't do that. I don't think it will. I think this is exactly what the Warriors wanted. The play-in was actually a godsend because they got the play-in, they won, and now they got the Rockets. Now they don't have to face the Lakers first series. They don't have to play Minnesota or Denver or anybody else. They got the Rockets, who are not experienced in the playoffs, who are young, and probably just aren't really ready for this quite yet, I don't think. I could be wrong, but let's see how it goes. It's a great first round matchup for the Warriors to get warmed up, to maybe see if they can get some continuity off the bench, and let's see where it goes. But I'm excited, guys. Warrior playoffs here again. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Every single time we get a chance to see Steph Curry before he retires in the playoffs is just basically, it's a gift. It's a gift, guys. So enjoy the series. Enjoy watching Steph Curry while he's still playing. And I still think he's got a few more years for sure. But every year is 1 year less and 1 year closer to retirement. So enjoy what you're seeing with Curry, Green, and Butler. It's going to be fun. And next year, we'll talk about next year after the series, but next year's going to be a big year. It's going to be a big year for the Warriors. I really believe it. So we'll talk about that next year. Let's see if they can make some magic this year, right, guys? So, hey, thank you for watching. Again, just remember to hit the like and subscribe, okay? And like I always say, hard work beats talent when talent don't work. So I'll keep working for you. You keep watching, and I'll see you in the next one.